MC has been a foundational figure in St. Charles Parish for over 40 years. He served under 4 parish presidents and worked with 46 council members. Please take a moment and join me in thanking Tim Vial. St. Charles Parish's economy is strong. There can be no doubt that business, industry, and our people, coupled with the economic engine that is the mighty Mississippi, have made St. Charles Parish the parish of plenty. I'm humbled again to stand before you today as I embark on my second term as your parish president. To the incoming parish council, congratulations and thank you for putting yourself out there to serve. It takes a special person to do so.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Charles Parish Council meeting on Monday, February 19, 2024, 6 p.m. in the council chambers in the parish courthouse. Please silence all electronic devices and remove all hats. This meeting is called to order with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance from Pastor Mark Jocelyn with the New Vision Baptist Church of St. Rose.
Lord God, first we thank you for being such a good God. We thank you for the privilege of living in St. Charles Parish. I thank you, Lord, for our parish president and each council member and every soul who is here this night. And God, we come to you now seeking your wisdom, seeking your guidance. I thank you, Lord, because you've promised that when we need wisdom, you are willing and ready to give that wisdom to us if we would ask. And so in the name of Jesus, I pray your wisdom upon this council. I pray your wisdom upon every decision that will be made, that each will be done according to your will, according to your glory. And God, I pray that you bless these men and women as they faithfully serve this community. Continue to guide them, continue to direct them. And God, pour out your favor upon every person here this night and be glorified. Lord, keep us in one accord, in one heart, all for the common good of your people. Lord, these things we pray in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Appreciate it. Need approval of the minutes. A motion and a second is needed to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of February 5th, 2024. I have a motion by Ms. Fonseca, second by Ms. Wilson. Please cast your votes. And that motion passes unanimously. A motion and a second is needed to deviate from the regular order of the agenda to take up file number 2024-0084, a matter not on the agenda. 2024-0084 is recognition of Mr. Billy Raymond Sr. I have a motion by Ms. Wilson, second by Ms. Fonseca, to deviate from the regular order of the agenda to take up file number 2024. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak on the deviation, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Okay, seeing none, public comment on the deviation is closed. Is there any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes on the deviation only. And that motion passes unanimously. 2024-0084, in recognition, Mr. Billy Raymond Sr. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. Before I read the recognition, I just want to take an opportunity to kind of give some history about my relationship with Billy. As you may have heard, his last day was this past Friday, and he's going to be sorely missed by everyone in St. Charles Parish, myself included. When I first won election in 2019, and I was beginning my transition, there were many people out there who wanted me to clean house. They wanted me to remove every single person who was a part of the previous administration or any previous administration, and bring in my own people. And there's certainly a desire when you come into office to make sure that you have people around you that you can trust, and people who you know are going to be working for you and for your agenda. So, but I took the opportunity. I gave everybody the benefit of the doubt, and I interviewed the staff of the previous administration, and Billy was the first person I interviewed, and we were just chit-chatting about what he does on a day-to-day basis. He was the chief administrative officer at the time, and I knew about 2 minutes into my conversation with him that I was going to keep him, and I'd never met him before in my life, and it's because of just the type of man he is. You could tell from the moment you talk to him how honest he is, how caring he is, how much he cares for the employees and the people. And he's been a steady rock in the parish for the last 4 years in my administration, for our employees, as a person who they can come to listen, just a person to listen to. He'll tell you, man, I can't always fix what you want, but I'll listen to you. And I'll read this recognition, but there's not an amount of paper or a plaque big enough to really express my fondness for Billy. St. Charles, the Parish of St. Charles, February 19, 2024. In recognition, whereas Billy Raymond Sr., Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, is a native of Hawnville and lifelong resident of St. Charles Parish. He and his wife, Karen, are the proud parents of 5 children: Billy Jr., Brian, Byron, Bernard, Zachary, and 6 grandchildren. And whereas Billy, a retired employee of Dow Chemical, formerly known as Union Carbide, with over 30 years of service, he served as a probation officer in the city of Baton Rouge prior to accepting employment at Union Carbide, and has also served as a reserve deputy in the 1980s and a deputy in special services from 2013 to 2016 for the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office. Whereas Billy serves as a deacon at Mount Airy Baptist Church. Whereas Billy was elected to the St. Charles Parish Council in 2007 as the District 1 councilman and served as council chair in 2010. And whereas Billy ended his term as councilman in 2011 and returned to the parish government in 2016, where he's appointed as Chief Administrative Officer by former Parish President Larry Cochran, and was appointed as Deputy Chief Administrative Officer by the current Parish President Matthew Jewell. And whereas Billy carried out his day-to-days with grace and kindness, beginning with greeting each and every employee on the 3rd floor of the courthouse, and whereas we will miss his professional expertise, mentorship, and most of all, his friendship. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby offer this tribute in recognition to Billy Raymond Sr.
Thank you. I think so.
You want to do anything for
That's fine. Okay, y'all ready?
Got one looking the wrong way.
One more.
Just like a sermon. Just like a sermon.
First, I want to say thank God for the many blessings that He's just showered me with over the years. It's kind of hard when you get to do this on the fly. Thank you, Consul, Parish President Jew, previous Consul, previous Parish President, administration. God, I got so many people I'd love to say thanks to. Just real quick, the many people across all of the departments in St. Charles Parish, not just the offices, but the people in the field, and again across all departments, in the courthouse here. It's been just a quick number of years. I've been blessed to work in St. Charles Parish for over 45 years total. And I've met many people along the way that were just great people that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Third floor has just been great. I'm going to miss the third floor. So many people, so many departments, from the one-on-ones, the morning visits, the every now and then to sharing a scripture, etc. I know I'll miss it. And I want to thank my family. My wife normally could tell when I've had a long day. And thank sons, grandsons, granddaughters. Just thanks to everyone. And let me say this. There's someone I would feel bad if I didn't say thanks to. I don't think they're here. But when I came in to the administration in 2016, we came in at noon, and paperwork had already started to flow across my desk. And I felt comfortable. There was one stack that I put together I knew what to do with. And then there was another smaller stack that I knew I needed to talk to somebody about exactly where should it go, what to do with it. And I sat down and I said a prayer. And then my mind went back to my first day in college as a freshman. And the instructor came in. Everybody was talking. He walked in. He looked at everyone, and it took about 30 seconds for the room to get real quiet, and you could hear a pin drop. And he turned around, and he wrote on the board, "You had better learn your resources." And he turned back around and then introduced himself and started to teach. After about 3 months or so, basketball season started, and I'm in the gym one day, and I turn, and there's my instructor. Come to find out, he was a former player also. And we got to be pretty close enough for me to ask him, said, "Look, what's up with what you wrote on the board? I mean, how am I doing? Am I learning my resources? I want to make sure I'm passing this class and doing as well as I should." And he said, "I shared that quote with you because that's something you need more than just for this class. It's for the rest of your life." So on that first day, after I finished the paperwork on my left, I look at the smaller stack, and that's the first thing that came to mind. It's like, okay, I need to know who to go to, who to ask the questions. And most of you in here probably know Timmy Vial. Didn't take long for me to figure out I needed to give Timmy a call. And Tim is a person, no matter who you are, what you ask, he's got the answer, and he's always willing to share it. As a matter of fact, I've walked into his office many times and said, Timmy, I got something here. This happened in 1987, and it said you may counter this, and he'll pull out a piece of paper. He says, oh, no, right here, I got it. It says you shall, not may, and that's just Timmy. So I have to say thanks to Timmy Vial, in addition to each of you. I really appreciate it from my heart, and I'll miss you all too. Thanks.
To return to the regular order of the agenda, please cast your votes. And that motion passes unanimously. Next up, special businesses, proclamations, canvass returns, etc. 2024-0077, in recognition, Mr. James Gray Holt, Eagle Scout. Ms. Skiba.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In recognition, whereas James Gray Hoyt is a resident of St. Charles Parish, residing in Luling, Louisiana, with his parents, Gail and Pat Hoyt. And whereas James is a member of Troop 370, chartered by St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Luling. He started his scouting career in August of 2013. And whereas James has spent the last 11 years as an active member of the Scouts, spending the last 7 years preparing to become an Eagle Scout. And whereas James has earned his 47 merit badges from a list of 137 badges and completed his Eagle Scout service project by constructing benches and tables for the International School of Louisiana. And whereas James earned these 47 merit badges by showing leadership ability as senior patrol leader, and assistant patrol leader. And whereas James rose to the rank of Eagle Scout on October 3rd, 2023, and received his medal in a ceremony on January 13th, 2024, at the St. Anthony of Padua Community Activity Building in Luling. And whereas James is a senior at Hahnville High School and will continue to grow as an Eagle Scout by providing leadership and as an assistant scoutmaster for Troop 370. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the parish president, do hereby offer this tribute and recognition to James Gray White. And I believe James is here to accept.
Well, I'd like to start by thanking the council for recognizing me and my achievements. I'd also like to thank my troop, who's been there the whole way, the whole time, especially Skylar, who has been there almost every step of the way. He's recognized. Also my family and all the teachers that work at St. Charles Parish, who's molded me over the past decade. What else to thank? Thank you all again.
All right, next on our agenda is 2024-0078, in recognition, Skylar Paul Brissett, Eagle Scout. Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In recognition,
Whereas Skylar Paul Brissett is a resident of St. Charles Parish, residing in Luling, Louisiana, with his parents Holly and Wes and sister Shea. And whereas Skylar is a member of Troop 370, chartered by St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Luling, he started his scouting career in August of 2013. And whereas Skylar has spent the last 10 years as an active member of the Scouts, spending the last 7 years preparing to become an Eagle Scout. And whereas Skylar has earned his 44 merit badges from a list of 137 badges and completed his Eagle Scout service project by constructing bat house boxes to be placed in the Bonnie Carey Spillway. And whereas Skylar earned these 44 merit badges by showing leadership ability as assistant senior patrol leader, troop guide, historian, and assistant patrol leader. And whereas Skylar rose to the rank of Eagle Scout on October 3rd, 2023, and has received his medal in a ceremony on January 13th, 2024, at the St. Anthony of Padua Community Activity Building in Luling. And whereas Skylar is a senior at Hahnville High School and will continue to grow as an Eagle Scout by providing leadership as an assistant scoutmaster for Troop 370. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the parish president, do hereby offer this tribute and recognition to Skylar Paul Brissett. And Skylar is here to receive. Thank you.
So to start off, I'd like to thank the council. Thank you for the recognition for this award. Then I'd like to thank my troop for helping me in every step of the way, and especially James. James has been there with me, like he said, through pretty much since the beginning. So back to the beginning, I'd like to thank the council for this award. Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is 2024-0079, in recognition, Mr. Kyle Daniel Waits, Eagle Scout. Mr. Brouillet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is in recognition to Kyle Daniel Waits, whereas Kyle Daniel Waits is a resident of St. Charles Parish, residing in Luling, Louisiana, with his parents Tanya and Stuart, and brother Zachary and sister Caitlin. And whereas Kyle is a member of Troops 370, chartered by St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Luling, he started his scouting career in August 2012. And whereas Kyle has spent the last 11 years as an active member of the Scouts, spending the last 7 years preparing to become an Eagle Scout. And whereas Kyle has earned his 36 merit badges from a list of 137 badges and completed his Eagle Scout service project by constructing message boards that were placed in the Bonnie Carey Spillway. And whereas Kyle earned these 36 merit badges by showing leadership ability as troop quartermaster, scribe, and historian. And whereas Kyle rose to the rank of Eagle Scout on October 30th, 2023, and will receive his medal in a ceremony on March 16th, 2024, at the St. Anthony of Padua Community Activity Building in Luling. And whereas Kyle is a senior at Hahnville High School and will continue to grow as an Eagle Scout by providing leadership as an assistant scoutmaster for Troop 370. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the parish president, do hereby offer this tribute and recognition to Kyle Daniel Waits.
So I'd like to start off with saying thank you to all of y'all. I'd like to give a big thank you to my parents who put me into scouting. Sometimes they were not fun, I got tired of it, but they told me to keep pushing through it, and I'm glad I am where I am today. It's a huge accomplishment. I'd like to thank all of my troop members who have made that experience pretty fun. And then I'd also like to thank all of my scout masters and leaders who helped me and guided me along the way of that. Then I'd like to give one last thanks to y'all again.
Well, this is one of my favorite roles as chairman. So, gentlemen, welcome to the rank of Eagle Scout. I hope each and every one of you take it and use it. You have some big shoes to fill. Not mine, but we have astronauts, presidents. So, but it's an accomplishment, and there's 4% of everybody that joined scouting. So, I see Mr. Gary hiding his head back there. I got to ask you. I'm going to ask you, what number does this make?
Kyle is number 70.
That's 70 scouts at 370. It's a testament of the program. In this day, in this world, we need scouting more than we've ever needed it before. So, gentlemen, I appreciate it. Give back. Do a good turn daily. All right, next on the agenda, 2024-0080, a proclamation, Disability Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish. Ms. Skiba.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whereas the Arc of St. Charles is a nonprofit organization committed to providing services and support that enable people of all ages with developmental and intellectual disabilities and special needs to attain their full potential. And whereas the ARC strives to promote and maintain a high level of professionalism in all areas and to maximize all resources, human and financial, in the interest of helping all persons they serve lead fulfilling and rewarding lives. And whereas the ARC includes over 140,000 members affiliated through more than 650 state and local chapters across the nation. And whereas it is important that every individual and family affected by intellectual and developmental disabilities have access to information, advocacy, and skills they need to participate as active members of their community and to live an ordinary, decent American life. And whereas people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families are valued, respected, and included in all communities, they direct their own lives and can choose services and support from many available sources. And they are empowered through nonprofit advocacy. State and federal governments administer programs and set a budget that meet everyone's needs. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2024 as Disability Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish. Be it further resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby urge that the citizens of St. Charles Parish give full support to the efforts toward enabling people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to live productive lives and achieve their potential. And I believe we have Candace Meyer and Artemis Jones here to accept. Thank you.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the esteemed council and the parish president for bestowing the ARC this proclamation. And I'd like to thank the ARC as a client of it myself for their wonderful work. They've helped find me a place to live. They're helping me find college courses for IT and a job at the local animal shelter where I hope I thrive and find much joy making the animals feel better and making their lives better enough that they can be adopted someday. Thank you.
All right, 2024-0081, proclamation, Lions Month in St. Charles Parish. Mr. Commodore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whereas through services, Lion clubs have impacted the lives of millions of people, and whereas the Lions engage your youth by helping organize and participate in service projects which may include school or community facility cleanups or visit to a home for a senior citizen or a children's hospital. And whereas the Lions share a vision by planning vision health projects and working with the visually impaired by organizing vision screenings, volunteering at the nearby Lions eyeglass recycling centers, and by organizing the eyeglass collection. Whereas the Lions relieve the hunger by organizing food drives and projects to feed the hungry, to help alleviate hunger by planning events to collect and distribute food. Whereas Lions protect our environment by implementing projects that improve and protect the environment, which may include organizing a highway cleanup, planting trees, or planning a community Earth Day event. And whereas it is desired of the Parish Council and the Parish President to bring this most worthy organization to the attention of the citizens of St. Charles Parish. Now therefore, be it resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby proclaim March 2024 as Lions Month in St. Charles Parish. Mr. John Landry is here to receive the proclamation.
Thank you.
Parish President, Honorable Councilmen and ladies of our beautiful parish, St. Charles Parish. I want to accept this in honor of Mr. Charles Wilson. I don't know if y'all knew Mr. Charles Wilson, but he was a sheriff one time, and he was a long-lived Lion, over 45 years. He lived right here in Hornville, and he was president of the Hornville Lions Club, and he just passed away about 6 months ago. So I want to accept this and dedicate it to him. I've got a lot of history in St. Charles Parish. I love it. My son lives here with his family. We got some property here. I'm going to be buried here in St. Charles, in St. Rose. We were there today. Unfortunately, I had to bury my sister-in-law today, but you guys are remarkable, and I love it what you do. St. Charles Parish, in my opinion, is the best. Is the best, okay? But y'all keep presenting this, and I'll hopefully keep coming unless somebody else takes over the position. But the Lions has grown from where the little guys used to wear vests, the men and men. It was all men's organization one time. Now it's men and women. We have grown to be the largest service organization in the world. We got 1.4 million members. Now the Luling Booty Lions, which is right here in the Zalmans, Phyllis Bro, she runs that. My wife and I started that Lions Club, and we still have Hornville Lions. We would love to start one on the East Bank if we ever can get the momentum going. St. Charles Parish, we need one there. We used to have one in Norco, but unfortunately it folded. If y'all ready for us to start one in St. Charles Parish on the East Bank, please contact me. We raise a lot of money. We help a lot of people. We're involved with childhood cancer, diabetes. Last year, little Luke, I thought he was going to come today, but he was in Texas visiting his grandmother. They were supposed to come back. But little Luke is a type 1 diabetic, and he wears a pump. and he really couldn't be active with his friends at school. He always had to sit on the sideline, couldn't go to recess. So I got him involved in a camp in Leesville, Louisiana. It's a Lions camp. It costs them nothing. Our clubs sponsor them. And I remember the first night he was homesick, and the director of the camp called me, and we got him on the phone, got his mom on the phone, and we talked to him, take one day at a time. Next day, he was still a little homesick. We got on the phone. Now he loves it. He can't wait to go back to the camp every Sunday. And we spend 1 week up there with diabetics like himself. It's a remarkable thing that the Lions do, and I hope y'all continue to keep us in your hearts and prayers and continue to give us proclamations like you do today. Thank y'all very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Next on the agenda, 2024-0082, a proclamation, Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Ms. O'Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Proclamation. Whereas problem gambling is a public health concern affecting millions of Americans of all ages, races, and ethnic backgrounds in all communities, causing a significant societal and economic cost. And whereas promoting awareness provides individuals in the problem gambling community an opportunity to educate the public and policymakers about the social and financial effectiveness of services available for problem gambling. And whereas problem gambling is treatable and treatment is effective in minimizing the harm to both individuals and society as a whole. And whereas the state offers a myriad of services aimed at treating problem gambling, including educational prevention programs, residential treatment, outpatient counseling, and aftercare programs throughout the state, a toll-free Louisiana Problem Gamblers Helpline, 1-877-770-STOP, S-T-O-P, that answers calls from people seeking help with gambling problems, and a website aimed at the prevention of problem gambling, www.helpforgambling.org. And whereas Louisiana was one of the first states to have numerous state-funded programs such as the Residential Treatment Facility, Center of Recovery, CORE in Shreveport for problem gamblers, and whereas numerous organizations such as the Louisiana Association on Compulsive Gambling, the Louisiana Lottery, Louisiana Casino Association, Louisiana Gaming Industry, the Office of the Attorney General, the State Police Gaming Division, and the Gaming Control Board all work together with Louisiana Department of Health and all statewide districts to address problem gambling. And whereas numerous individuals, professionals, and organizations have dedicated their efforts to public education about problem gambling, prevention of problem gambling, along with the availability and effectiveness of treatment services. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim March 2024 as Problem Gambling Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish, and encourage all citizens to help spread the message that there is help for problem gamblers through treatment and to support those who are in treatment and recovery for their families. And then do we have Jay Mariani here to accept this?
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Parish Council for inviting us to get this proclamation. I've been in the addiction field for 34 years now, and there's still a big problem with gambling out there. And we need to look at what we can do to take and help people, get some treatment. We are working on a facility in New Orleans also for inpatient treatment that's coming up. I'm not sure when that will open, but that may open up some doors for some people instead of driving all the way to Shreveport. this is very important, I mean, we're looking at a lot of people gambling out there right now, and our programs are unutilized, well, not unutilized, but a lot more people could be attending, and I know people know there's a program out there, but we'd like to promote. Thank you all for promoting it. Thanks for giving us an opportunity to be here tonight. Y'all have a good night. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda, 2024-0083, a proclamation, Ark Fest in St. Charles Parish. Ms. Giebel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whereas the Ark of St. Charles is a nonprofit organization committed to providing services and support that enable people of all ages with developmental and intellectual disabilities and special needs to attain their potential. And whereas the Ark strives to promote and maintain a high level of professionalism in all areas and to maximize all resources, human and financial, in the interest of helping all persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities and special needs. And whereas the 20th annual Ark Fest is the weekend of March 9th to 10th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the West Bank Bridge Park in Luling. And whereas proceeds from the Ark Fest benefit the participants and services of the Ark of St. Charles. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim March 9th and 10th, 2024, as Ark Fest in St. Charles Parish, and encourage all citizens in the parish to attend the festival at the West Bank Bridge Park. And I believe we have Candace and Artemis still here. Thank you.
On behalf of the ARC and the individuals that we serve, we want to thank not only Mr. Jewell and this council, but all of St. Charles Parish for the many ways that they support us and all of the services we provide. Thank you.
I want to say thank you to the council and to the president and for the parish of St. Charles, because I'm a board member. And when we first started out, we were struggling, but we got a proposition. And because of that proposition, we can serve all the people and not have a waiting list. And I just want everybody to understand that the work that they do is for the whole community. And it's not just for some individuals, because we've taken people with disabilities from being hidden to being a part of the community. And we just thank God for the opportunity to do it. And I thank God for Victoria and all the people who work at the ARC, because they give 1,000% to the people that they believe in. And I thank God for y'all too.
All righty, next up, reports, finance, administrative activities, 2024-0072. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. Tonight's report will be a little bit shorter than normal because we're going to have a short presentation from our Waterworks billing office about the new Waterworks billing office software. So I'll start off really quickly and go into Lakewood. So Lakewood is complete as far as concrete work goes. DOTD will be working this week on the signal at Highway 90 and Lakewood, as well as the Lakewood-Barton intersection. DOTD anticipates that there will be some localized lane closures while they do work on adjusting the signals. The yellow striped pavement in the photo on the right will be dedicated, that you see on the left, on the left there, will be a dedicated left turn lane, so drivers can have a dedicated left, a dedicated straight lane, and a separate right-hand turn lane, which we think is going to help traffic coming out of there. And getting the signals corrected will also help make that intersection hopefully a little bit safer. We know we've had several accidents at that intersection. For courthouse renovations, the second floor is almost completely done, and the government buildings team is working to get the final touches complete so everybody can get fully moved in and settled. That move-in process is happening right now. The three courtrooms, judges' chambers, the DA's office, plus the clerical staff offices, as well as the grand jury rooms and bonds and fines were completely remodeled as a part of this renovation. The judges are, again, almost completely moved in and on track to be back for court full-time here starting March 1st. So we're excited to have them back, as well as our DA and bonds and fines staff inside the courthouse now. If you were unaware, the bonds and fines office used to be across the street, and then it was outside in a portable. But having bonds and fines close, right outside of our courtrooms, will hopefully help spur folks to pay their fines as soon as they leave the courtroom and not skip out on that important aspect of being in court. And I hope none of you are ever in court. Waterworks East Bank Ida repairs. Our East Bank Ida repairs are underway and include interior and exterior, as well as roof repairs to the admin and plant building, roof repairs for the C plant and C filter buildings, replacement of damaged windows, demolition of the old storage structures, and construction of a new storage building. This project has just kicked off, so equipment is just getting on site and just starting the demolition process. I was told we're about 5% complete, but I did want to let you know it has started and is underway. Waterworks C filter upgrade project. That's this slide that you see here. Very similar to what we did at the West Bank plant for our council members who toured that last year. It's about 70% complete, which means the work should be completed this April, and we will get that filter back online. And I believe we did get a grant, Carla, if I'm not mistaken, about $900,000 to that project. The Waterworks billing office renovations and ribbon cutting. This is a fresh photo from today. We thank everybody who came out and gathered with us to celebrate opening the billing office, as well as the completion of the Ida repairs at the West Bank plant, which were not as substantial as what you saw going on at the East Bank plant, but still very important. And I know that our team will be very glad that those are complete. The building that you see behind you there it's 3,600 square feet. It was very badly damaged and had to go down to the studs, had to get a new roof. And we took the opportunity to somewhat rearrange the building to make it a little bit more compatible and user-friendly for not only our staff, but our residents who come in and need help on their accounts. The office is now has an expanded customer service lobby, conference room for the staff to discuss matters in private with our residents again, and renovated offices for the billing team. Our billing office will be open to the public Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 p.m. and closed from 11 to 12 for lunch, which is again our normal billing hours, and that's going to start Monday, March 11th. Again, we have these reduced hours so that our staff can train on the new billing software, which you will hear about shortly. But I just want to take the opportunity to again thank our Waterworks billing staff who sat almost on top of each other in the back building for over 2 years and did great work. They never skipped a beat, as well as our field employees in Waterworks who did a tremendous job after Hurricane Ida getting water turned back onto our residents. A very daunting task, and they did it with grace and flying colors. Now I'd like to invite Jessica Nakhan, the billing utility supervisor, to come and talk to us about changes in the Waterworks department.
Good evening, President Jewell. Good evening, council members. My name is Jessica Nakhan. I am the utility billing coordinator for the Department of Waterworks, and I am here to talk about the new software. This is our old software. This is the current software that we're using. It's CUSI, which stands for Continental Utility Solutions Incorporated. We've been having this software since 2010. It is a software solution. It's hosted by a parish-owned server that's located within the Waterworks office currently. And for several years now, our billing software has been having a list of issues, which is what spurred on the change to shop for new software. And some of the reasons why we decided to change, there's the software upgrades that are needed on our actual local server, so it takes someone logging into that server to get access to it. A lot of the upgrades are difficult and take months at a time to complete, and that's due to all of the customizations that we have within Waterworks in order for us to bill that we bill. Their customer service has become worse over time. I don't know if they have new leadership, but basically if we have a question and we have issues and it affects bills, the only way we can get in touch with them is to email their help desk. They determine our level of importance, and they submit that on a tier level basis, and we don't have any access to then rush those complaints or those issues. It can sometimes take us 2 to 4 business days before we're able to come up with a solution in order to fix things before we send bills out. As far as any type of backdating, any type of bug, any type of misinformation, we check all of that ahead of time. We want to make sure that those things get corrected before the bills are sent out. Because it is local and it is on a server, there was security issues with allowing anyone to have an online customer portal. We didn't want anyone to be able to allow access into our server, so having an online customer portal was not feasible for us with having it on the server like it is now. It was not user-friendly, so it took multiple steps to complete a process within the office. Whenever you have new staff coming in and you're training that new staff, it was very difficult to learn that process. It took quite a long time before our new staff was comfortable and familiar with the software enough to feel confident in order to perform those processes on their own without needing additional assistance. We had paper service orders. They were not able to produce any type of electronic or mobile service orders for us, so every time we had a request for one of the guys in the field, whether they were on the East Bank or West Bank, they had to drive into the office, pick up that paper, and then drive back out to perform those services. And there was no electronic importation, which means that every credit card payment, every ACH, everything that's processed is processed in our office manually, and we knew that we were no longer going to be able to do that. We needed to get up to this century and to get with times and become more efficient within the office. Some of the things that I did in order to select a new software, this has been a 2-year process. One of the first things I did was I attended water conferences and I spoke with multiple vendors that sold utility billing software. We were able to gather as many contacts as possible during those conferences. I did contact all of them, and what I did is I requested references. I asked for references of other municipalities that were similar in size to us, that were government-based rather than private. Once I got that list, I contacted those individuals, and I spoke to their billings team, and I asked them how well they liked the software. How did they utilize it? Were they happy with it? Did they have any complaints? How was it working for them? I also called neighboring parishes and spoke to their water departments. Tangipahoa Parish, Lafourche, St. John, Jefferson, St. James. I opted out of Orleans. I did contact Lafayette and Iberville. So I spoke to all of those on a personal basis and asked them what software they were using and how well they liked theirs. And lastly, I included all of the stakeholders. And the stakeholders within this process was President Matthew Jewell, Darren Dewey, who's our Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Greg Gordon, who is the Director of Waterworks, Anthony Io, and Russell Wells. Anthony is our Director of IT and Cybersecurity. It was very important with this being cloud-based that he was guaranteeing our safety and security and that we were selecting the appropriate people that would still be able to protect our information. Russell Wells is with Cygnus. They are a third-party IT company that has been working with Waterworks for over 20 years. They're very familiar with our billing processes, and they knew what type of support we would need. as well as myself, and we had several ladies within the office who were a huge part in this as well, and that is Michelle Hurton and Tessa Email, who are both our utility billing specialists, Kendra Vitos, who is our utility billing technician, and Terry Vassmer, who is our accountant within Waterworks. They've been with us every step of the way. They've been doing all of the training. They're testing all of the processes and making sure that everything is going to run smoothly. And they've done a massive amount of work to get this up and running for us. We did choose MuniLink Software Solutions. That is through Link Corporation. They are 100% cloud-based software solution, and they have real-time integration. And so they're able to offer us a ton of resources, some which we already had in place, but others that will be hugely beneficial to our office. Some of the advantages as far as the office staff goes is it is, of course, cloud-based. So it eliminates the need for support of a physical server that's located on site. MuniLink is very knowledgeable and they have a lot of experience. So they've actually been in the utility billing software company business since 1980, and they have over 400 utility billing customers. So they're very large and they know exactly what they're doing. They are located within the U.S., so their customer service response time is usually within seconds. We actually have an instant chat that is available at any page you go to, and you're able to send a chat, and within seconds, a real live person is chatting back to you. But we can also get in touch with them via email and over the phone if needed. They do have an online customer portal, which would be extremely beneficial. I do have a little bit of a preview of that at the end of this presentation, just so that you guys can kind of see what that's going to look like. But that's more access than what our customers have had in the past, whereas all they had was an opportunity to pay online and just view a copy of the bill and nothing else. There is real-time payments using Paystar, so we do currently use Paystar for our online payment processing vendor. However, like I said, right now it's us pulling reports and posting those payments by hand. They actually have been able to team up with MuniLink, and they are fully integrated, and those payments will be live, which means as soon as the payment's made, it will be reflected on an account, which will save the office a lot of time, and it'll also update that account information immediately rather than waiting for us in the office to process that. As far as office efficiency, it's huge. We're able to import and export information if we need to, where we weren't able to in the past. It's going to reduce a lot of manual processes in the office, as I said, even with payments, but we'll have barcode scanners on the payment stubs. We'll be able to scan those in. It'll pull the customer account right up. So many multiple steps that we do now with this software that will be eliminated. All of the paper that we're using will be eliminated. And then, of course, all of the field work being live and being able to talk to the men in the field right then and there is going to make a huge difference in the office. And then the electronic service orders, which it's going to be a huge improvement all the way around. As far as the residents go, one of the huge advantages is that online customer portal. They will be able to get their billing and payment history there. They will be able to see their statements. They will view their usage reports, as well as the ease of finding all of our online forms. I know we have our CCR, which is our water quality report that we have to post on an annual basis, and we have to make that available to the public. All of that information will be right there on all of the tabs accessible to them, as well as any forms or requests that they need to make with us. We're able to do that right there as well. The real-time integration with Paystar means that there is no more, especially during our disconnect days where people are making payments and then having to call our office to verify that those payments are made. That's no longer a thing. That's going to be a thing of the past. It's going to reflect immediately live. Not only will it do that, it'll automatically issue the service order to go turn that services on without our office needing to initiate that step, which is going to be huge. It's going to make a big difference as far as getting that done in a timely manner. We do have a free auto pay option, whereas in the past, Paystar had that option. However, there was a fee for that. I believe it was 50 cents each transaction for auto draft. We are now able to offer that for free through Paystar, so that's also a benefit. No longer need to call to have services restored, again, especially on those disconnect days. And once that payment's made, it's going to automatically initiate that turn on. And then we also have notification options that will now be available. We'll be able to notify people the day before we disconnect, giving them their account number, the balance that needs to be paid in order to not be locked off, along with the link to the online portal. So all they have to do is click on it and they're able to make that payment right then and there, which will be huge. We'll also be able to communicate with customers if there's any type of boil water advisory, not that we have many at all. Any other upcoming events, anything else that needs to be done, we're able to send all of that out. They're able to get text reminders that their bill is ready to be paid, it's ready to be viewed. So there'll be much more outreach to all of the customers across the board. This is just a little bit of an overview of what one account would look like. As you can see, all of the information is on the top of the page. If we need to contact someone, we're easily able to find their information. It's just a brief overview, but it does break down the balance into water, sewer, garbage without us really having to drill down into anything. Anything that's blue, that's underlined, is a link. You can just hover over that, and it expands the information even more to where you're able to break it down even further if needed. This is just another part. It actually shows you the usage. As you can see, it actually breaks it down for the last 10 reads and gives you the average of that. So if anyone's reading is abnormally high for whatever reason, we're able to go in and look at that pretty quickly and not only see the actual readings, but we're able to look at the graph and see the average as well, which will help. You can see also where you can see our meter history that shows inactive meters, but it also shows active meters and the date that those new meters were put in. So it gives us a lot of information right on one screen where we're able to get all of that in one go. This is just another part where it actually shows the history of the service orders on the account. They are time-stamped, so we know exactly when the work has been completed immediately, and by who, and what the status of that is, as well as payment portal payments, payment plans. If someone's on a payment plan right now, we just tell them how much in addition to their bill they would need to pay to cover that. This actually helps us set up the payment plan. It's going to be reflected on their bill. It will be reflected on the online portal. They'll be able to keep track of their balance and know what's left to pay. So a lot of things that weren't available before that we'll have now. This is the online customer portal. This is what anyone will see when they log on to pay their bill. You can do it with the quick pay, which is where you're just going in and entering your account information. The other one is where you're actually registering your account, so you can do your email, password, and you're able to store all of your personal information on there and go back to it anytime. It will show your balance. As you see at the top, there's the home account history, water quality reports, help. We're also able to add online forms to that as well. But you're able to see your balance, you're able to see your due date. It breaks down the charges for you, and then if you scroll down, it actually allows you to see your usage on here as well, to where you can, I believe you're able to pull up date ranges on that. This is right now, it's just a sample. We're still accessing everything as it comes along. This is the portal for the quick pay payment, and it's in 3 different steps, but it'll show you where you can see the payment amount. You can actually link multiple accounts within one sign-on. So if you have multiple properties, you're able to have one sign-on, but you're able to make one solid payment that will be applied across the board to all bills, which is extremely helpful. And then you just go ahead and enter your payment information. You are able to save that for quick use for the next time you make a payment if you do create an account. And then you're able to get confirmation of that payment that it has been made. This is our auto pay enrollment. So right underneath the make a payment, you have the manage auto pay settings. And this allows you to go in and create an auto draft to where it will help you to automatically pay those bills for free without the fee. And it will be done on the due date of your billing statement. So that payment is made the day that it is due and it's processed. The customer portal, this is just showing the steps. It shows where you can process your payment, enter your payment information. None of this information is true. It's just a mock because we didn't want to put any real information on there. But it's pretty quick and simple to set up and get started. And then you just confirm your information, and you're all set up to go. Lastly, the last benefit that I have said again was just the mobile service orders, just some of the features. It does have GIS built into it. It allows the guys to see their schedule. So they can see what's scheduled for today, they can see what's scheduled for tomorrow, they can see what's scheduled for a week from now. They're able to sort it either by department, whether it be distribution or meter reading, or whether it be a specific person. If there's a task or a duty assigned to a specific one, they're able to drill down to just what is affected by them. There's also multiple steps built in, so if we need them to change a meter, for example, it's going to bring them through each step within that process. They're not able to skip a step without entering the accurate information that's needed within there. We'll have the timestamp, but it'll actually also pick up their location of the list of work orders. So say there's 10 in the field and one guy's closest, it'll actually pull that one up first in the list since he's right there in that area, which will make things much easier and more efficient. These are some of our upcoming dates. So we are going to be sending emails out to all of our e-bill recipients. Because it is a new software, they will need to authorize receiving emails from a new vendor. But what we're going to do is we're going to send out an email to all residents who are currently receiving e-bills, giving them the heads up and what email address they should expect that information from, just so they're aware of it and they don't look at it as spam. They'll know it's coming. So we'll be sending out a heads up notification to those individuals who currently receive e-bills. But all residents, if they would like to receive e-bills, even if they've had them in the past, will need to initiate that authorization to start receiving them again. We are hoping that the final data conversion will be February 29th. That is a Thursday. Those are the days that we bill. Once billing is complete, we will go ahead and stop all transactions within the office. They will need to pull all of that current, live, up-to-date data off of our server, and then we'll need to put that data into the new software before we're able to go live. And that does take a few days, so we'll start on a Thursday. Hopefully by Friday, they'll be full into it, and then we'll be finished and be live by Monday morning when we walk in. And we will open the office the following week, which will just give us at least 1 week to be able to navigate this software in a live setting and get familiar with it before we're in front of residents. We don't want to be lost when someone walks through the lobby. So this will just help us prepare for that week ahead and be ready to fully serve everyone again Monday through Friday. And that's it. If anyone has any questions.
Yeah, Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jessica, thank you, and the ladies that have worked with you and the administration. This is a tremendous improvement. And I did have one question. You mentioned how under one user ID, someone can have multiple properties. So along those same lines, if someone has 2 meters, for instance, the normal house meter and then the irrigation meter, will that also show up under the one property and the one user ID?
Oh, yes, that always does. Those accounts are tied together. So if you have someone who has a water meter and an irrigation meter, that account is listed as residential irrigation, which means that 2 meters are listed there. You will also see 2 different usage readings on your billing statement that shows water and irrigation, so it breaks those charges down.
I remember back when we had an irrigation meter, it used to be 2 separate bills. I don't know if it still is.
No, not anymore. Not unless
so
it was something that was old and grandfathered in, but the majority of us, it is combined into one.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Jessica, thank you for all of the work that you and your staff have done. The only question that I have is when the customer is making a payment, will there be a fee?
Yes, for credit cards and for e-checks, there is a fee, but that is through Paystar because there is merchant services. That is not owned by us. It is their fee that usually pays for them to do the work. We're not able to do that in-house because of PCI compliance. There's a lot of compliance that goes behind the scenes for credit card information and banking information. If something were to happen to someone's account or that information were to be stolen, the parish would be liable. So we use third parties to protect ourselves from that, and they have so many security systems in place, but they need to be paid for those services. If we were to absorb those fees in Waterworks ourselves, it would cost somewhere around $20,000 a month. And we don't want to, we don't want to add that additional expense to our department. And it is a convenience for the customer, so it's really them opting into whether or not they choose to make a payment using that method.
Mr. Jewell.
I just want to say thanks. This was a kind of a big task to do, and you and the department took it head on. And we're excited. I know it's a lot to learn a whole new process while still doing your existing process. But I'm confident that once the residents get used to it and kind of buy into this new system, that it's going to be a lot better for us as far as transparency goes, and a lot more efficient for our folks internally. And when you think about, I think one of the most important things about this, and I don't want to overlook this, is that it's cloud-based. So if, God forbid, something once again happens to our billing office, all we need is a computer in some other location, and we can sign on and continue the work that we're doing. And that's very important. It becomes portable for us.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Knocking. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, ordinances, resolutions introduced for publication, public hearing, Monday, March 4th, 2024, 6 p.m., Council Chambers, Courthouse in Hanville, 2024-0085, 2024-0086, 2024-0087, 2024-0088, 2024-0089, 2024-0090, 2024-0091, 2024-0092, and copies have been made and placed in your folders for 24-0093. All righty, ordinance is scheduled for public hearings introduced at a previous meeting. 2024-0066, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of change order number 1 for the AHU number 5 HVAC system replacement project number GBAC 0220 to decrease the contract amount by $3,034. Mr. Dewey.
Council, this is just the one and final change order for our air handler unit number 5 with a reduction of $3,034. Just a housekeeping item. Hope you ask you to support it.
Thank you, Mr. Dewey. File number 2024-0066 is now open for public hearing. If anyone would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0066. And that motion passes unanimously. 2024-0069, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of amendment number 2 to ordinance number 23-5-2, which approved the professional services agreement with Alpha Testing and Inspection Incorporated for additional testing services for the hydraulic bottleneck near Destrehan, PS number 2, project number P190507, in the not to exceed amount of $25,000, bringing the overall agreement amount to $70,000. Mr. Bingham.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. This is just an increase for an existing contract for alpha testing. This is one of our sheet pile installation projects, and it's very important for projects of that nature to have a consistent and constant testing lab out there monitoring the vibrations for those sheet pile installations. This project's had some ups and downs with additional work that involved driving more sheets than was intended, and this is to take care of that. And we'd appreciate your support.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bingham. 2024-0069 is now open for public hearing. If anyone would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Is there any council discussion? All right, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0069. And that motion passes unanimously. All right, 2024-0070, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement for Triton Controls and Engineering to perform engineering services for the wastewater PLC upgrade, project number S240101, in the amount not to exceed $156,778. Mr. Jaderis.
Yes, sir. This is to replace all the PLCs at both the Hahnville and Destrehan plant. Those plants were brought online in 2000. The PLCs are no longer tech supported. We can't get parts for them or anything, so we're going to buy the PLCs. This company is to come in and do the programming for all of them, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you. File number 2024-0070 is now open for public hearing. If anyone would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Is there any council discussion? All right, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0070. And that motion passes unanimously. All right, resolutions. 2024-0073, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a federally funded agreement between the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness and the St. Charles Parish for funding in the amount of $848,758 to elevate 5 residential flood-prone structures to prevent further damages and reduce NFIP claims. Ms. Chesson.
Good evening. Thank you. In 2022, the parish applied to FEMA for more elevation funding on behalf of 25 homeowners of repetitive loss and severe repetitive loss properties throughout the parish. We recently received approval of these applications, and tonight I have 3 funding agreements before you, this item and the next 2 items that are on the agenda. So they require council approval to enter into. This agreement in particular is for 5 properties in St. Rose. So let me know if you have any questions.
All right, thank you. File number 2024-0073 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. All right, seeing none, the public comment is closed. Council discussion. Mr. Pilier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Carla, great job.
Thank you.
This is great. I wonder if everybody understands what the SWIFT current is. Could you actually give us a quick explanation of how that works versus the normal FMA grants?
So Swift Current is a new program that FEMA is rolling out. It is under the Flood Mitigation Assistance FMA program, and what FEMA is doing for this program in particular, it came out and they said they were only accepting applications from 4 states, us, Texas, New Jersey, and one other, I can't remember. But it was supposed to be swift, and they said that they would provide awards within 6 months. However, that was in 22, so that's the timeline that we're working with. But the new Swift Current came out, and what they're doing that I'm excited about is they are saying that it's a rolling basis for the application, and if a parish, municipality, locality has a major disaster and it has been affected, they have a criteria, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but if they've been majorly affected by flooding and have substantially damaged properties, they will accept an application on a rolling basis, and it's opened last year until maybe next May, and I think that that's something they're going to continue to do so that they can combine disaster recovery with the actual disasters, and it doesn't come so far behind. So I'm excited for that program, although we don't have anything going on right now for the existing one, but we were happy to see this Swift Current come right after Hurricane Ida, and we were able to help our residents that were interested.
So we had to understand that other people can apply between now and sometime later on?
No,
or
it
you-
has to be a presidentially declared disaster.
Gotcha.
And it has to have so many, I think it's maybe over 100 properties flooded. So it can't just be a few, it has to meet their criteria to participate in the program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Chasson, you and I had a little back and forth about some properties, and I know for privacy reasons you can't say exactly where those are, but could you give me a general idea of the subdivisions, if you know, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, in the St. Rose area where some of these, you
I
have
don't
no
know them
idea?
by subdivisions.
So you have no idea exactly where they're located?
These are in St. Rose for this
Okay.
5.
Okay, and I was just trying to figure out kind of what locations would have
No.
qualified for the program.
No, that's,
Okay.
I don't know all the subdivisions.
Oh, I know. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Meanwhile, talking about the SWIFT, other than the SWIFT program, which is a rolling program you described, are there other opportunities, or will there be other opportunities for other residents to apply for this elevation grant under a different program? Maybe
So
not SWIFT?
annually, FEMA accepts applications under the Flood Mitigation Assistance Program.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other council discussion? Okay. Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0073. And that motion passes unanimously. All right. 2024-0074, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a federally funded agreement between the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness and St. Charles Parish for the funding in the amount of $2,986,354 to elevate 16 residential flood-prone structures to prevent further damage and reduce NFIP claims. Ms. Chesson.
Thank you. So this is the second agreement. This is for 16 properties, almost $3 million in funding. The properties in this application are 100% funded, so that tells me that's all severe repetitive loss properties. Those are across the parish in Destrehan, Norco, and Luling. So if you have any questions, let me know.
All righty. File number 2024-0074 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Is there any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0074. And that motion passes unanimously. 2024-0075, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a federally funded agreement between the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness and St. Charles Parish for funding in the amount of $578,597 to elevate 4 residential flood-prone structures to prevent further damages and reduce NFIP claims. Ms. Chesson.
So this is the last of those 3 funding agreements. It's for the 4 properties. Those are all in Norco. Most of these are 100% funded. We do have one project that does have a cost share, so you'll see that there. If you have any questions, just let me know.
All right, thank you. File number 2024-0075 is now open for public comment. If there was anyone that would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, the public comment is closed. Is there any council discussion? Ms. Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Chasson, how are the residents chosen, the homes are chosen? You choose, or the residents contact, or how is the process?
So we do keep a list of residents who are interested. When FEMA opens a grant opportunity, we will contact them to see if they're interested. And we work with a consultant who takes all the information about their properties and looks at it and says, based on the program, whether it's 100% funded, 90% funded, or 75% funded, the homeowner can choose to participate or not, if they are eligible. We also have the repetitive loss lists from the NFIP that we look at. We look at the single claims in the most recent years, and we'll contact people who have had claims. So everyone since Hurricane Ida, since that was our last flood, has been contacted since then to participate. And so we take that group of people who turn in the application and all of the documents that's required, and we compile an application. You'll see for this opportunity, we have 3 different applications because there's different scoring criteria. So sometimes some properties will score better, and when it's a competitive application process, we want to make sure that we can get as many through as we possibly can. So luckily, all the ones we submitted for Swift Current were funded, but sometimes we do multiple different applications, but usually we try to consolidate them into one.
Okay, thank you.
But all properties have to pass a FEMA benefit cost analysis in order to be included. So whether they contact us, they may not move forward with an application.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Mr. Pillier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Chasson, I just happened to notice that this says a non-federal share of $19,683. I thought I heard you say this was 100% covered.
There was 3 of them that were 100% covered.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Any further council discussion? All right, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0075. And that motion passes unanimously. 2024-0076, a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute agreements and documents pertaining to the Restore Louisiana Infrastructure, FEMA, Public Assistance Non-Federal Share Match Program. Ms. Chesson.
Thank you. So the grants office is working with the Restore Louisiana program to secure almost $1 million in funding for our project worksheets from Hurricane Ida, and the program has requested at this point for us to submit a board resolution authorizing Parish President Jewell to sign the funding agreement and program documents. So if you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Ms. Chesson. File number 2024-0076 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Is there any council discussion? All right, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2024-0076. That motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Chasson. It's always a pleasure when you come and bring us some money.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is appointments. 2024-0071, a resolution appointing a member to the St. Charles Parish Library Control as a District 5 representative. On Monday, March 4th, the council chairman will accept nominations to the St. Charles Parish Library Board of Control from the District 5 council member to fill a vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Ms. Tammy Winman. 5-year term to begin April 1st, 2024 and expire April 1st, 2029. Ms. Winman has served 2 consecutive terms and cannot be reappointed. Meetings, announces, and notices. Meetings, the Housing Authority, Tuesday, February 27, 2024, 6 p.m. in the council chambers. Hospital Service District Number 1, Wednesday, February 28, 2024, at 2 p.m. in the council chambers. The St. Charles Parish Council meeting Monday, March 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. in the council chambers. Important dates for the March 23rd, 2024 election. Wednesday, February 21st, 2024 is the last day to register to vote in person or by mail. Saturday, March 2nd, 2024 is the last day to register to vote online at govote.com. Early voting will begin Saturday, March 9th, 2024, and Monday, March 11th till Saturday, March 16th, 2024, from 8:30 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. Locations will be the West Bank at the courthouse, 15045 River Road in Hahnville. On the East Bank, it'll be the Auterbury Building, 14564 River Road in New Sarpy. Tuesday, March 19th, 2024 is the last day to request absentee by mail ballots. Friday, March 22nd, 2024 is the last day for register to receive voted absentee ballots, and Saturday, March 23rd, 2024 is Election Day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. I need a motion and a second to adjourn. I have a motion by Mr. Prouillet, second by Ms. Skiba. Please cast your votes to adjourn. And that motion passes unanimously. Everybody have a great evening. We're officially adjourned.